Sister Laila live. Sister Laila live. Weekly for the dawah at the hour. Ask Sister Laila live. Sister Laila. Invite your friends and family. Get cozy. Ask Sister Laila.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulallah. I want to welcome everybody here to another Ask Sister Laila live show. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And tonight, not only will I be answering your questions about Islam, and by the way, I'm keeping the you guys can see my Zoom people. I'm keeping them open today so we can keep an eye on them. You know, I tell you guys all the time, a lot goes on behind the scenes here at Sunnahfollowers. Oh yeah. Whenever you got a bunch of women, young girls and old women, ain't no middle course. Either they young or they old. It's always drama. Y'all saw some of that drama yesterday, didn't y'all? You know, but subhanAllah, we're here. And by the way, Fame, turn that video camera. If brother Kurt comes in, turn it on. Don't turn it on now, because you know some of these sisters like to come in here and don't have no hijab on because they forget that I'm streaming. But yeah, keep it off. I don't want to do that. But I'm gonna leave it open so I can see what's going on to help Sister Fame in case I have to, because we got a little hacker from the UK, Birmingham. He got banned, but you never know when he's gonna get a new IP. So, alhamdulillah, welcome back to our Call In and Ask Sister Laila live show. There's different ways you can get your questions asked. For those of you who are on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you can type your question on the screen, and inshallah, I'll be able to see it. Or I'm trying to put the PowerPoint up there. I made a little thing here so y'all can see. Yes, also Twitter. Yes, Twitter too. Inshallah, guys, let me see that. Let me type this thing here. I supposedly, it says that I should be able to see you guys on Twitter too, I think. Yeah. And yeah, so if you guys type a question on Twitter, I should be able to see you as well. I have never had a person on Twitter type of question as of yet, because most of the people, you know, the kids don't use Twitter anymore. They consider Twitter and Facebook outdated. I think the only people that use Twitter are us older people. But yeah, I'm supposedly able to see on Twitter too. Let me make this darker. Yeah, y'all like that? Let me, hold on. Put the purple up. Can y'all see that now? There. Or you can call in and ask your question too. 862-370-2838. That's our phone number, and our phone lines are open, as the commercial said. Or if you would like to use the microphone, just simply join our Zoom room. Our Zoom room is open 24 hours. You can come in here, go to www.sunnahfollowers.net. Click on Zoom room and it'll bring you directly in. No password or any of that needed. You can ask to use the mic or just take the mic and ask your question that way. But for those of you who are in Zoom, please send your questions to Fame. Do not, I repeat, do not private message me, because even though y'all see me and I got you guys on my string, this is so I can kick somebody out. I can't see y'all directly. If y'all type, I won't get to see none of your typing or any of that. I can just see the names. I'm looking for certain names to come in here to knock them out. Okay. So any questions, if y'all feel the need to private message Fame, inshallah. And also you can type your questions on our WhatsApp group, or you can call using WhatsApp. The 862-370-2838 is our WhatsApp phone number too. So I guess, I don't know how it works, but you can do it that way too. Or you can just leave a message in our WhatsApp group, you know, it all works. So just type your questions. And also, guys, today At the request of, I'm getting serious as y'all can see now, because this has been on my mind all week. One of the sisters here called me Monday morning. I got a phone call from one of the sisters in Atlanta. I got a big following in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. And she asked me a question. She's one of my Bantus. And she said, Sister Laila, you know I was born and raised Muslim because I'm Bantu from Africa. She said my Abu, her father, got two men who are interested in marrying her. And she said one of them is a born Muslim like her, been raised Muslim all his life, never deviated away from Quran wa Sunnah, was brought up upon Islam, good parents, Islamic parents, and all of that. She said, then the other man is a convert. His parents are Muslim too, but he converted to Islam at an earlier age. I mean, at a later age, meaning that he wasn't raised upon Islam. That means he's fornicated, probably. He's probably smoked some marijuana. You know, he partied a little bit. He converted to Islam when he was basically 19. So 19 is long enough to taste the sweetness of life. And I like the way, you know, she worded that. You know, the other brother, he's a good Muslim now. He's practicing Islam. He comes from a Muslim family too, but they weren't born or raised upon the deen. He's tasted the sweetness of life. But the other one interested in her has been Muslim his entire life, never tasted the sweetness of life. That means never drank, never party, never fornicated. She said, so how do I decide? They're both educated. Both of the brothers are educated. They both have degrees. They both can provide. They both can maintain. You know, they both pray. They both wear beards. They both practice. They're both attractive. What do I do? So when she presented that question to me, I'm like, wow. And then she said, Sister Laila, what would you do? And when she asked me, what would I do? That got me to thinking. She said, would you marry a man who's a convert to the religion? Or would you marry a man who's been raised upon Sirat al-Mustaqim all his life? She said, if you had two brothers, both of those men are people of knowledge. She said, both of them are men of knowledge. One is a convert. The other is not. Who would you choose? I was like, wow, man. I've never thought about that. I'm going to be honest, guys. I've never thought about that. Y'all know I don't think about that type of stuff. I'm too busy trying to run a website. But I told her, give me a week to ponder it. Give me a week to suggest it. I said, give me till Friday, and we're going to make this the discussion. We'll discuss this, you know, on the Call In and Ask Sister Laila show. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in between me answering your questions. I want all of you sisters to think about that. You got two righteous men. And they all meet the qualifications. The only difference is one is a convert. He was converted when he was 19, 20. The other one was raised upon it. What would you do? And in fact, let me make that hold on, I'm going to do it. Oh, sister, look who's here. Oh, yeah. She said, Laila, make that a ticker. Okay, I'm going to make it a ticker, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so that way I'm going to make it a ticker. So that's something that everybody can ponder. Okay, question. Two men want to marry you. Both are righteous. One is a convert, the other raised upon. Who would you choose? Put it up there as a tickler. Y'all see it? Can y'all see that? A lot of you sisters got quiet. There's something to think about. Two men want to marry you. Both men are righteous. One is a convert to Islam. The other was raised upon Islam. Who would you choose? We're going to think about that for a minute. And by the way, for the sister that asked the question, yeah, she's here. Don't worry, I'm going to give you my answer because I got an answer, you know, but I'm going to answer it on both spectrums. Before I give you my answer, I want to hear everybody else's feedback on it, and then I'll give you dalil to support both sides of the coin. You know, Laila, I'm all about the dalil. Hello. It's all about that bass, no treble. It's all about the dalil. But y'all think about it while we move on to the first question. While y'all think about that, read the first question for me, Thamay, inshallah.
The first question is, what is Sharia law? How can we practice Sharia law in the USA?
Okay, first of all, Sharia is an Arabic word. And that is just a foreign language. And what does the word Sharia mean in English? It's talking about Allah, Allah's laws, the laws that Allah set in place for us to live by. There's no way on this planet that you can practice Islamic laws in a non-Muslim land. The Prophet, we have the authentic hadith from Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. What's the source? Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim and Muwatta. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, our laws are for us. They are not for the non-Muslims. And their laws are for them, not for us. When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam sent the companions to Abyssinia because they were being punished for practicing Islam in Mecca, he told them, respect the laws of the land. Our laws are for us, not for them, and their laws are for them. So he told them, when you go to Abyssinia, it's a Christian country. They have their own government. They have their own laws. What's the source of all of this? Bukhari Muslim Muwatta. So when you go to their lands, respect their laws. Don't violate their laws. And also respect our laws, meaning we don't fornicate. That's Sharia law. One of the 10 commandments are the laws of Allah. Do you understand, Brother Omar? The 10 commandments are, thou shalt not drink, thou shalt not fornicate, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not cheat. Allah's laws are for everyone. So we can live anywhere, as Allah says, on this earth. You can live anywhere on this earth. Allah says the earth belongs to me. It doesn't belong to you. He said, I created you in pairs. You can live anywhere on this earth. Just be just. Don't be oppressive. So the Sharia law are the laws that Allah has imposed upon us. And all of his laws are based on justice. If I live in America, I cannot steal. If I live in America, I don't fornicate. If I live in America, I don't commit adultery. If I live in America, I don't lie. If I live in America, I don't cheat. If I live in America, I don't steal. That's Sharia law. So what do you mean? How can you practice it? Just by obeying the law like we are. Now, I think the question that you are asking me about, Brother Omar, you're asking about punishment, not law. You're asking about punishing a person for violating the laws of Allah. That's a different topic. That's a different Arabic word. Living in America, this is not a Muslim state. So there's no way you can punish anybody the way they would punish in Saudi Arabia. This is not Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, if you are found guilty of stealing, remember, what is Sharia law? The law of Allah is thou shalt not steal. Allah also gives punishment. He said the punishment for getting caught is you're going to lose your right hand. But that's only if you live in an Islamic state. America is not an Islamic state. So if I'm caught stealing, they're not going to cut off my hand. And nobody here can demand that. But instead, in America, if you're caught stealing, you go to trial and they throw you in jail. So you lucky you in America. Because if you were in Saudi Arabia or if you were in Iran, they'd take your hand off. But since you ain't in Iran, you're not in Saudi Arabia, you got to do some jail time. So now do you understand? It's real easy. How do you live by the laws of Allah in America? By obeying him. But as far as punishing me for not obeying them, you can't do that. Just like when the Prophet sent the companions to Yemen and sent them to Abyssinia. These were Christian countries. He said, respect the laws of their land and respect the laws. Don't fornicate. Don't steal. If you're caught stealing, we're not going to take your hand. If you're caught fornicating, we're not going to stone you. But whatever they do in that country, they'll do to you. Do you understand, Brother Omar? So very easy. You live in America, be a good boy. You live in America, be a good human being and obey your Lord. And thank God you ain't in Saudi Arabia. Because in Saudi Arabia, you probably wouldn't live long. They kill you for drugs. What's the punishment for selling drugs in Saudi Arabia? Execution. When I made Hajj, I'll never forget it. After the Friday khutbah, the Imam announced, anybody that wants to see the public execution, go to the market, because they were executing two men who were caught selling drugs in the Prophet Muhammad's mosque. What was the punishment? Death. So if you're going to be a dope dealer in Saudi Arabia and you get busted, they're going to execute you. And a lot of you brothers are dope boys here in America. Y'all go to jail. Saudi Arabia, bang, bang. Bang, bang. So I hope I answered the question. Does that answer your question, Brother Omar? I'll wait before I move on. Did I answer your question? Yes. Yeah, just obey Allah. Sharia just means the laws of Allah. Allah's laws, Allah's commands. Those 10 commandments, don't violate them. You'll get away with it here, but you ain't going to get away with it with Allah. Allah still will punish you. Okay? Yeah. A lot of people want to live in an Islamic state. How many of you could actually live in an Islamic country? Most of us would be executed for things we do. Yeah. Okay. The law knows best. Okay. Next question.
I married my Muslim husband, then converted a few months later. Since I arranged my marriage, is it void or is it forgiven because it was before I was a Muslim?
What? Wait a minute. Let me read this. I married my Muslim husband. Oh, how were you married? How did your Muslim husband marry you? It ain't got nothing to do with conversion. How did he marry you? Did you have a guardian? There is no marriage without a guardian. Did your husband was Muslim. Did you have a guardian? If you did not have a guardian, if you did not have a dowry, if there were no witnesses, you're not married. You're a fornicator. Just as simple. Because your husband was supposed to marry you in accordance to the laws of Allah. You weren't Muslim, but he was. Were you fornicating with him before marriage? Don't answer that. All that stuff is taken into consideration. So I would suggest for the sister that asked that question, make an appointment with your local imam. Because that gets into a whole different thing. The sin is on your husband, not you. So that's something you have to take up with your local imam. Just make an appointment with your local imam on that question, sister. And if it is illegal, that's on your husband. But y'all need to make it right because you're Muslim now. Y'all can make it right. Yeah. Okay, next question.
Is a Muslim woman allowed to wear color contact lenses?
There's nothing in Islam that addresses anything about colored contact lenses. And as our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the lawful and unlawful are clearly defined by Allah. Most things in life are lawful when it comes to our everyday life. If something is haram, there has to be a clear nas, a clear verse that says it. And then the prophet said the things that Allah does not mention are good and clean. They're lawful. So there's nothing wrong with a woman or a man wearing contact lenses that are colored. I wear contact lenses. Mine are not colored, but I could wear colored lenses because as my doctors tried to tell me if I wear a colored lens, it'll make my eyes better. You know, so contact lens is a medical thing, guys. And if like I said, if Allah hasn't mentioned it, we can't say it's haram. But I can tell you this, if a woman or a man is wearing colored contact lenses, when it comes to getting married, you have to let whoever is marrying you know before you marry them that your eyes are not that color. Because deception, you can't deceive a person into making them think that he's marrying a woman with green eyes. And in reality, it's just contacts. So no, it's not haram, but let your husband or potential wife know that they're contact lenses, that they're not your real color. And Allah knows best. Okay.
Next question is, I heard my imam say that the first day of Muharram is considered the start of the Islamic New Year, and that's why the Prophet ﷺ fasted certain days during this month. Is this true?
Your imam, I hate to say it, is a liar. Okay? There's nothing in Islam that mentions anything about a New Year celebration. This is another example of us Muslims imitating the kafir. Remember, our allegiance is to Allah, to the Prophet Muhammad, to the religion of Islam, not to America. America has a New Year's Day. There's nothing in Islam that states we celebrate a new year. That's not part of the Arabic culture. The Arabs never celebrated a new year. The Prophet Muhammad never celebrated a new year. The Prophet Muhammad didn't even invent that calendar. This so-called Muslim calendar was did by Umar because he wanted to be different from the Christians and Jews. But that's not part of our religion like that. Okay? So we don't have an Islamic New Year. Anybody that told you that, they need to stop imitating the Kafir. There's only 2 days that we celebrate. The Eid al-Adha and the Eid al-Fitr. We don't do New Year's. We don't do Christmas. We don't do Halloween. We don't do the solstice. We don't do none of that. So whenever people speak about this religion, whenever somebody tells you that we do something because of something, they have to bring the evidence. They have to bring the hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said, this is our New Year day. So is that Brother Omar in there? Yeah, there's no such thing as an Islamic New Year. This is innovation. This is imitating the Kafir. Whoever said that there is a liar. Tell them to bring the dalil. Just tell them to bring the evidence where the Prophet Muhammad ever said that there is a such thing as an Islamic New Year. That's not even part of the Arabic tradition. It didn't exist in the 6th century. Tell them that to bring the hadith or the verse of the Quran where Allah said we celebrate a new year or any of that. And Allah knows best. Were there any other questions before we got nuked off?
That was the last one.
Brother Omar, are you here? Let me know if Brother Omar joins. He had 3 questions here. Okay, and while we waiting on Brother Omar, let me bring up the topic that one of the sisters here asked me about, and I got it right here. What would you do? You're a Muslim woman. You were born and raised upon Siratul Mustaqim. You've never tasted the sweetness of life before. And what do I mean when I say the sweetness of life? That means you never drank, you never smoked marijuana, you never fornicated, you never adulterated, you never been to a club, you never been to a strip pole joint or none of that other stuff. Okay? You had a Muslim Islamic life. Now that you're an adult, you got 2 marriage proposals, 2 propositions. One from a man who has tasted the sweetness of life. What does that mean? He converted to Islam when he was 20 years old. Before he became a Muslim, he used to drink, he used to fornicate, he'd been to strip clubs, he did all that stuff, gang bang and all of that. But he's changed. He's no longer that part of that lifestyle. He's a righteous man. He's been Muslim for a long time. He's been Muslim, let's say, for about 20 years. Okay, he's a good Muslim. He prays, he wears the beard, he fulfills his obligations to Allah, he fulfills his obligations to his family. Nothing bad about him. He's a provider, maintainer, and all of that. But he's a convert. And then the second proposition that you have is a man who's righteous too. He's a good Muslim too. He's a provider, maintainer, and all of that too. But he's like you. He's not a convert. He never tasted the sweetness of life, meaning he never partied, he never drank, he never fornicated, he never was gang banging or any of that. So which one do you choose? What do you sisters say? Anybody want to comment? And please do. What would you do in a situation?
The question here is, since the question here is not so much to me that he's a convert, because converts, he's a good person. He might have did that, and what you did before, Allah washed all that clean anyway. So that ain't even the question is, since I have never tasted the things of life, you're supposed to marry somebody like you. So you need to get the little boy ain't never did nothing, because you ain't never did nothing. Get like what you are. That's my opinion on it.
What y'all think about that? I agree. That's also one way of looking. That's one of the things. And the sister that called me, that's one of the thoughts she had. Well, you know, anyone else? Go ahead.
I have something to say. A person who is a convert, he's good, he's doing everything he's supposed to do, versus the person that's a Muslim and was raised, I would look at it as the family, because that convert has a family that's probably not Muslim.
No, remember this case, his family's Muslim. His family converted, he converted when he was 20.
The convert family is Muslim?
Yes, they all Muslim. His family converted too.
The convert's family is Muslim.
That's what I'm saying.
I would probably then look at what would be amenable to me. I would go for the height, maybe the looks.
They all got all that going on. That's what I'm saying. The brothers are identical. There's nothing wrong with either one, except one is a convert, the other isn't. And that's the dilemma that this sister is in. And and she asked me, she said, Sister Laila, let's look at you. She said, what would you do if you were in this situation? She said, you got two brothers who are people of knowledge like yourself, on the same level I'm on. But one is a convert and the other has been Muslim all his life. What would you do? And when she presented it to me, I was like, wow, I never thought about that. Never been in a situation and never will. But it's something to think about. And there's pros and cons, you know, for both sides. I mean, anybody else, what would you do? Somebody that, anyone else? Let me hear from the rest of you.
I would choose the born Muslim because he grew up on the fitra, and plus he fits her the most. And the person, in regards to the Prophet, peace be upon him, in regards to marriage, he said choose the fittest. And the brother that's born Muslim is the fittest in regards to being born Muslim attached.
Okay, I can see her perspective. Anyone else?
Well, I will beg to differ. And the reason why I beg to differ, for so many reasons, but I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet.
If you want to, would you like to turn your camera on, Brother Daryl? By the way, guys, this is Brother Daryl Abdullah Kirk, the one whose book y'all supposed to be buying. He's the one who wrote the books here at the website. Turn that camera on, fam mate.
I can't turn it on. You don't get. I don't
fam mate.
I got it. It's on now. You can turn it on.
Okay, try it now.
I'm just gonna say too before Brother Abdullah talk. I disagree too.
Wait a minute, nobody needs you to butt in yet, Carmela.
Yeah, I got the butt in. I got the butt in.
Carmela,
don't mess with the convert. The convert has a choice. The convert chose to clean himself up and choose Islam and choose Allah. You know, that's his own choice. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And what I was gonna add is that it doesn't matter. I mean, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in an authentic hadith, he said, marry the ones that are similar to you. Now that is in terms, in my understanding of that hadith, an individual that has a similar background. Now we have to understand what's important in the marriage. And what is important is tadib and akhlaq within that situation. And what that is Islamic morality and good manners. Now, I've been to Kenya, I've been to Morocco, I've been to different places. I've seen brothers born Muslim, I've seen converts. And I could go on and on with a list of different reasons. For example, you know, brothers that are born Muslim tend to bring culture into the religion. You know, and when they get married, things that they are demanding or things that they want does not always line up with Islam. It might be a culture from their tribe or from whatever they might be. Whereas a convert, you know, depending on where he comes from, he could bring street into that situation, or he can bring old bad behaviors. It just depends. So you can't really look at it being a born Muslim or a convert. You have to look at their morality, their Islamic morality, their dedication to the deen, their manners. Because you got a lot of born Muslims that have bad manners and they don't understand how to treat women. And you have that with converts too. But I feel like it all comes down to the nature of that individual. I don't think a woman should shut out those opportunities. Looking at a brother just looking for somebody that just because they're born Muslim is going to destroy her opportunities a million times over. There are a lot of converts, and I'm not saying marry a convert. This sister came from a background where she was born Muslim, and her parents were strict, and they practiced Quran and Sunnah. Now she meet a convert that just got out of jail or prison. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But a lot of converts are not. You have many converts that have not found their religion in jail or in prisons, like me. I've never been in prison. I've never been in jail. I mean, I was a Jehovah's Witness, so I came as strict as they were. I had very strict parents. My parents were very strict. We didn't celebrate holidays. We didn't celebrate none of that stuff. Islam was an easy, smooth transition for me because I already knew those things were wrong. But what I'm saying is that a sister, her wali, of course, should be in the process. We already know that. He should look for an individual for that sister that has likeness like her, perhaps in things that she like, those topical situations. But also he wants to look at the character of the person, his background, what kind of family he comes from. If he comes from a Catholic family, what type of family were they? What type of community did he live in? What type of activity was he involved in? Or what is his reputation in his community, even before converting to Islam? What is his reputation in the masjid? So these are the things that is important. Don't keep looking for, brother, I want a born Muslim or this and this and that. Screw that. Because what's important is the deen, their practice of the deen, and also good manners. And the Prophet ﷺ emphasized good manners because a lot of people don't have good manners. A lot of you marry somebody that's born Muslim, they end up beating you. That's probably the culture they come from, and maybe not. I'm not saying that's how they all are. That's not a blanket statement. But I'm saying if you're looking only for that quality or that aspect of the person, you might run into something that you don't want. So you have to change your mindset. Your mindset should be on the deen, the practice of the deen, the character of the individual, his Islamic morality, those things that matter, that's going to make him a good husband. And you can find that in a convert, or you can find that in a born Muslim. It just depends on how they was raised and what type of background that they have. And that's the way I feel about it,
Yeah, and alhamdulillah. And by the way, he answered that perfectly. And that's the way, basically, that's my answer too. And you got two, like I told the sister, I'm telling the sister now, that's a heck of a situation. What would I do? I had two brothers approach me. Both of them are people of knowledge. Both of them are highly respected. Both of them know their deen. It's the only both of them can provide. Both of them can maintain me. Both of them have good, impeccable records of being good to women and children and animals. Throw the animals in there too. What would you do? Like she asked me, well, like Brother Sahi, like Brother Sahi has just typed. We have to remember, guys, all the companions were converts. The best of this nation were converts to this religion. Okay? So, look at Umar, radiallahu anhu. Before Islam, Umar was a brute. He used to persecute his slaves. He was very, very harsh and ill with women. But after Islam, he changed. And then we remember the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, who are the best of us? as Muslims because the companions were all on the same level. The originals, they were all converts. Who's the best of us? What did he say? Those of you who were good in character before Islam. You will be good in character after Islam. Those are the best. And that's how I look at it. If I had a situation like that, and like the other side, which is what the young sister brought up to me, she said, but Laila, since the other brother, the convert, tasted the life of this world, the convert used to do drugs, the convert used to drink, the convert used to fornicate, the convert used to lie, the convert used to steal. Doesn't that mean he comes with baggage? That's the question that she asked me that had me really take a step back. Yes, that's true. The convert may bring into your relationship baggage that the other brother won't bring. The convert may have this desire to want to drink, to want to get high. He may have this desire, or he may have the mannerisms. As Brother Abdullah Kirk said, he could have the mannerisms of stringing women along. You know, he used to live with women, shack with women. Marriage could possibly not be as important to him as it is to the other. But none of that stuff matters because you're never going to know until you marry the person anyway. But I agree with Brother Abdullah. Should I let that stop me? Just because a brother is a convert and this one is not? Should I let that stop me? That's a personal choice that you have to make on your own, guys. Do you women understand? I can't answer that question for you. For me, I'm going to go with the one who appeals to me the most. If I got the choice, the sister is asking me now. She said, what would you do? I'm getting ready to answer. If I had the choice of two men who are men of knowledge, both of them are on my level, and Islamically, spiritually, I'm going to pick the one that appeals to my soul. Do you sisters understand? You young sisters probably don't, but the older sisters here do. Which one is my soul reaching out to? You know, have you heard how some people will go out and buy, say a person, I remember one of my coworkers shared this with me. She wanted a puppy. So she went to a pet store and they told her, pick whatever puppy she wants. And she said, how do I know which one to pick? And the pet owner said, oh, just, you'll know. So she said she went to each puppy, picked them up. They snuggled up against her. Pick another one up, snuggled up against her. Then when she got this other one she picked up, he didn't snuggle. He looked at her into her eyes. And when he looked into her eyes, that's when she knew. Being an older woman like I am, I don't care if a man is a convert or not. All I care about is, does he know this deen? Does he understand this deen? Can he quote hadiths? I'm going to tell you, you want to know what Laila would do? He got to show me that he know this deen. I don't care that he memorized no Quran. That ain't important. Do you know the meaning of the Quran? Tell me the history. Tell me about those companions. Tell me about the hadiths. What does this hadith mean? That's what appeals to me. Whichever one that my soul will connect to. Y'all get it? And by the way, I found myself in that situation before. Oh yeah, old woman. I've been in a situation before where I've had a lot of proposals. Which one you want, Laila? They all good brothers. But when I took a look, when I met the person, you know, you connect. Which one do you connect with, sister? And that's my answer. When you're, which one of those brothers are you drawn to? You would know. What do y'all think about my answer with that?
That was pretty good.
Oh, it's true.
Maybe because we know with age comes wisdom. Let me tell y'all something. I got 4 brothers. I got some crazy brothers. Do you know that we were always raised, don't you marry no convert? You better marry a brother that's born Muslim. I've heard that all my life, don't you marry no convert. You would better marry a person that's born Muslim. You hear that as when I was a kid, that's what they used to say. Okay, but when I got the age where I wanted to get married, I could care less about him being a convert or not. It was who was my soul drawn to. My first husband was a convert. I was drawn to him. My other husbands were Muslim Arabs, and I was drawn to them. Okay. It's whoever I'm drawn to. I don't care. I've never cared about the convert thing personally. It's which one gets me, who can read me, who appeals to me, who is my soul comfortable with. If my soul comfortable around him, it's him. Y'all get it? What do y'all think? Anybody else want to share?
I side with that opinion because I had at one time, like, going into the marriage prospect and trying to find someone, I was faced with 2 decisions, whether I go with the person who was a convert like me, or if I go with the person who was born into the religion. So you're basically going to pick exactly, we got our criteria of who we should pick and who we should be leaning for, but you're going to pick who you want to pick. You want to pick who you rock with, who has the similar likes in the same instance that their deen matches up, but also who makes you laugh, who has a sense of humor,
Exactly.
Who you match with. And I take marriage. Marriage has to be something that I'm going to take seriously, and Allah put us together. We are cooler to each other's eyes. We complement each other, but yet we keep us grounded each other. Now, if you don't have a sense of humor, because I know myself, I like to laugh, I like to, I see things through a different eye, and I need you to see it like that. I can't be with somebody I can't laugh with, who don't have a sense of humor, who can't mesh with me on that. So regardless of if the person's a convert or not, it's just who I mesh with. But the ultimate goal is that we know we're doing this for Allah, for Islam. This is the ultimate goals, So I agree. It's who you mesh with. That's
exactly.
It.
And that's my answer to my little Bantu student that asked me that. And that's what I'm saying. When your father allows you to see those brothers, whichever one that your soul is drawn to, you would know. Just like my coworker said, she knew which puppy. She knew when he looked up at her in her eyes, she knew. There'll be something about him that will just make you know. It'll come natural. Because alhamdulillah, you got 2 good brothers who are interested. Because that's hard to find, brothers who are practicing the deen. Brothers who are able to provide and maintain you. Brothers who have good, impeccable reputations. So you got, both of them are good. But you will know whichever one your soul connects to. And by
sorry.
Go ahead.
That statement you made, Sister Laila, and I'm sure you full well know this. You memorized the hadith, but it's in line with that hadith where the Prophet ﷺ stated that souls are like recruited soldiers, and he said they get mixed up with those similar with them in qualities, and then he also stated, and oppose and drift away from those who do not share their qualities. And that's in Sahih Muslim. That's an authentic hadith. And that's true. Just like you said, you'll know who you mesh with. And of course, with istikhara and dua and all of that, you're doing the right thing. Allah will guide you accordingly. But that is true. The souls will know each other.
Exactly. And that's the hadith. Water seeks its own level. It does. You know, remember, guys, we talked about the human souls. You know, the souls are kept in a place known only by Allah, with Allah. Sometimes we connect. We come when we connect. You will meet this brother, and oh wow, we connect. Perhaps our souls remember each other from when we were up there with the law. You know, you'll know. It'll happen. It'll just come. So I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, any questions too? And by the way, here's Brother Omar. Is Brother Omar here? Brother Omar asked the question. He said that his imam said that women who wear lipstick is zina. Again, I tell you guys, when we play around with these Arabic words, Arabic is a language. It's not a religion. And so he wanted to ask me, is it true that because a woman has on lipstick, she's committing zina? That's a big thing to say. You know what you're saying in English. Let's take the Arabic away. Zina refers to having illegal, sexual relations. To refer to a woman as being a woman of zina, you're referring to her as being a prostitute, a skank, a trollop, a tramp. And we have to be very, very careful using terminology like that, especially when it comes to the lawful and the unlawful. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the lawful and the unlawful have been clearly defined by Allah. So if something is haram, there will be a nas or a verse from the Quran that says it. If it is haram, for example, for a woman to wear lipstick, there would be a verse from the Quran where Allah says, thou shalt not wear lipstick. Or there would be a hadith from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbidding the women of this nation from wearing lipstick. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when it comes to the lawful and unlawful in our everyday lives, most things are lawful. If someone's going to tell you it's haram, they have to bring the nas. There is no verse in the Quran, nor is there any hadith on planet Earth that forbids a woman from wearing makeup or lipstick. Lipstick is makeup. And for those of you who are uneducated, the Arabic women, like all women on earth, have been wearing makeup, including lipstick, since the time of Eve. Okay? When Aisha, radiallahu anha, was slandered, accused of zina by the people, she said that was one of the most trying times of her life. She lost weight. Her hair fell out. She stayed in her apartment. Her mother and father's apartment, crying. So one day, her mother came to her and said, oh, Aish, you have to get up out of this. You cannot allow the people to break you. She said, look at you, my daughter. You're so pale in color. You've lost your hair. You've lost your weight. She said, never let the enemies of Allah see how badly they've hurt you. So Aisha got up and she was going to go answer the call of nature. Aisha's mother, Roman was her name. So she took a petal, a desert rose. Oh yeah, they have desert roses. She took a desert rose, rubbed it on her fingers like this, and put it on Aisha's cheeks. because she was so pale. And then she took the desert rose and made Aisha rub her lips with it to stain her lips so she wouldn't look so pale. And she told Aisha, put on your cape. By the way, the prophet's wives did not cover their faces. I keep telling y'all that's not a part of Arabic women's dress. I'm an Arab woman. I have a degree in history. Do the research. In the 6th century, the prophet's wives wore hoods, and they would bring the hood down over their eyes like this, so all you could see was this. So when the women gathered to go outside to answer the call of nature, Aisha put her cape on with the hood and brought it down so they over like this. All you could see was just this part. That's how they covered their faces. Or sometimes if they didn't have their hood, they would do this and take it down. But she put her hood on, and her mother stained her cheeks and stained her lips and told her, when you walk out that door, she told her daughter, you walk with your head up high. Do not let the enemies of Allah see how they've broken you. Okay? The prophet's wives wore makeup. Also in Sahih Bukhari. Even when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent sent Abu Bakr to lead the people on the Hajj. This is right there in Sahih Bukhari. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Ali to let him know that Allah had sent down the verses about the Hadi. And when Ali announced about the Hadi, his wife Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet, she said, had I known, I would not have taken off my makeup. It's right there in Bukhari. Whenever y'all read a hadith that mentions the word kohol, kohol is makeup. Y'all better learn Arabic and don't learn slang. Learn Fusha. Kohol is makeup. Henna is makeup. As Aisha radiallahu anha said, a woman can show her face and this and whatever makeup and jewelry she has on them. That's Aisha radiallahu anha's fatwa. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, he said a woman can show her face and her hands and every jewelry and makeup on them. That's Ibn Abbas's fatwa. Ibn Umar, radiallahu anha, he said a woman can show her face, her hands, and whatever makeup and jewelry she has on it. The Arabic women wore nose rings like I wear. Oh yeah, they used to paint their faces with henna. Henna is a makeup. It's a makeup. Kohol. They wore what I got on. This is kohol. It's a makeup. They would stain their lips with petals. They would stain their cheeks with petals. So we have to be very careful, guys, of saying something is haram, especially when we don't understand our religion, because you'll come upon a person like me. I know the hadiths. I know my deen. I know my deen. I know my deen. I study from the best scholars that ain't even living today. Ain't even living today. They're dead. And by the way, even Sheikh Albani has the fatwa saying the same thing when he put out his fatwa that a woman doesn't have to cover her face. He used Aisha's fatwa. He used Ibn Abbas's fatwa and Ibn Umar's fatwa too. Check it. For the fatwa lovers, go check Albani's fatwa. Y'all never mentioned that? Makeup is not haram. If it were, bring the dalil, because I can bring you about 15, 20 hadiths where the prophet's wives all had makeup on. Women have been wearing makeup since God made Eve. It's good and clean. You brothers stop making life hard for these sisters and go learn history. Go learn history. Okay. All right. Any other questions? So if your imam is calling women prostitutes, you better tell your imam to be careful, because Allah doesn't like people slandering believing women. That's the same thing they did to Aisha, radiallahu anha, slandered her, called her a woman of zina. Y'all better be careful referring to women as being women of zina. Y'all better watch what come out your mouth, because it's going to come back and bite you in your derriere real bad. That's truth. Don't get it twisted. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Go ahead, Fame. Did you take care of that person, Norto? Norto, did you do that for the person on Twitch? Norto? She's not in here? Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
I'm seeing you right now.
Well, I'm talking to brother here. Go ahead, brother. Type your question. Go ahead. Okay, he's asking me, of course. He's asking me, is it lawful for them to marry a non-Muslim woman? Well, Allah is clear on that in the Quran. Allah says lawful for you is the food of the people of the book, and also their women. But you have to learn the hadith. There's conditions for that women. If you learn the hadiths are the explanation of the Quran. Okay? The woman, the Christian woman or the Jewish woman, her heart should be inclined towards Islam. And also she must be chaste. I don't know that many chaste Christian women today. If you look up the meaning of the word chaste, chaste means that she dresses modestly. Chastity is not just determined by virginity. Chastity is determined by dress, appearance, behavior. Okay? If she's walking around looking like Nicki Minaj, that's not a chaste woman. If she's got boyfriends, that's not a chaste woman. If she dates men, if she goes out on dates, that's not a chaste woman. You understand what chastity means, brother? And also, her heart should be inclined towards Islam. She cannot be an enemy of Islam. A lot of these Christian women, they want to marry you brothers to try to convert you. They think they can convert you to Christianity. That's not a lawful woman to marry. Her heart's not inclined towards Allah. Her heart's still inclined towards disbelief. So yes, you can marry Christian women, but there's conditions. And those are the two conditions, chastity and heart inclination. You brothers understand that? Yeah, that makes sense. Because in the next verse, Allah says, a believing slave would be better for you if you only knew. Okay? Yeah, I personally don't know why any brother would want to choose a non-Muslim woman. We have so many Muslim women in the world today who are in need of husbands. I don't know why any righteous believing man would even consider marrying a non-Muslim woman. The Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was the greatest example for us. Okay? Even though Allah sent down that verse saying that you could do it, did he do it? He never. None of his wives were anything but Muslim. All his wives were Muslim. And the same with the original companions. The original companions did not marry Christian women either. The original companions, all their wives were Muslim. In fact, they divorced them. The wives that refused to convert to Islam, Abu Bakr divorced them. Umar divorced them. So we should try to live up to the standards of those companions. I mean, why would you choose a woman that has no fear of Allah over a woman that does? That's a good topic too for discussion here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Any other questions? Go ahead, just type them. Inshallah. Yeah, go ahead. I can read it. Okay. Okay. Okay, this brother here is typing. He said, Sister Laila, I want to take a theology class. I am in college and want to take a theology class. Is this something that I should do? Why would you want to take a theology class? Remember, as Muslims, it's all about allegiance. That's the second part of that shahada. We should have allegiance towards Allah. When you declare La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, we're declaring allegiance to Allah, allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, allegiance to the religion and allegiance to all the Muslims. And we have to distance ourselves from anything that will stand in the way of that. Theology. What is theology? This is what happened during the time of the Tabi'in with the movement of Ibn Sina. When the Persians converted to Islam, you had Ibn Sina and his followers. They were into that theology. They wanted to mix the theology of the Romans and the Greeks with that of Islam and all of that. No. The only theology that we believe in is the theology of Allah. Allah says in the Quran, don't put yourself in situations that may compromise your iman. Don't put yourself in situations that may cause you to second guess your belief. Why would you take a theology class that's speaking about the Bible? By the way, the Bible doesn't exist. The Torah doesn't exist. Allah says in the Quran, He destroyed those books. And whatever good was in them, you'll find it in the Quran. The 10 Commandments is in the Quran. The story of all the prophets is in the Quran. The angels in the Quran. So why would you take a class that's based on falsehood when all it's going to do is cause you to question and doubt what you think you know? Don't go near evil. Stay away from that which can impede upon your belief. So no, I would not take theology. And by the way, I have degrees too. I graduated from colleges too. I stayed away from those classes. Take some communication classes. If you have to take a philosophy class, take deductive logic. That's what I took. Take a deductive logic class and take a symbolic logic, because that's dealing with numbers. It's not dealing with Einstein. It's not dealing with theology. It's dealing with how to convert language into numbers and symbols. That's what I did. So take deductive logic or symbolic logic. And Allah knows best. You got that? Exactly, brother Sahi. I couldn't marry a non-Muslim. If I was a man, I don't know what would. Well, nowadays we have a big fitna. We have Muslim women marrying Kafir men. Oh yeah. That's a big fitna. A lot of our Muslim girls who were raised Muslim marrying Kafir men. getting pregnant by kafir men. Subhanallah. We're living in the days of fitan, and that's horrific. I got women here in my website who are married to kafir men. Can y'all believe that? Oh yeah. I got a couple of people in here who's supposed to be Muslim women, but they still shacking up with a kafir man. And guess what? None of their good deeds is accepted. And I tell them all the time, you better pray you don't die. Because if you die right now, all your good deeds are in vain. Because that is a terrible sin. A Muslim woman cannot be with a non-Muslim man, period, dot. The fact that you still with that man means that your love for him is greater than your love for Allah. You love that man more than you do Allah, and you will be raised up. As the Prophet Muhammad said, you'll be raised up with those whom you love. So you and that big man will be standing together near the hellfire on the day of judgment. I got 2 Muslim women who just won't let go of them kafir men. So they're adulterers. What's the sin? Adultery. That's what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam meant in that hadith when he said some people, a man will be raised up, an adulterer will be raised up as a kafir. Why? Because your love for that sex, your love for that person was greater than your love for Allah. You brothers and sisters, y'all got to get that together, man. Y'all better choose Allah. Yeah. Yeah, walaikum salam. Any other questions? Go ahead and type it. I know I had to, a lot of you, I missed an hour because I was being nuked on here. So I'm making up for it. Staying a little later to make up for the questions I had to miss because of that. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, type it. Yeah, go ahead. Right. Okay, the sister here is asking, what about this? She said she converted to Islam. She was married before she became Muslim. It's still haram, sister. Here's another one. It's still haram. The day that you declared La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, your marriage was null and void. Allah says in the Quran, do not send them back. Do not send the believing women back to those men, to their husbands who are not Muslim. So the day that you declared La ilaha illallah, whoever gave you your shahada, that person should have told you that after you say La ilaha illallah, you have to go home, get your clothes, and leave, because that house is no longer lawful for you to be in. Did the person that gave you shahada tell you that? Okay. She typed, listen at this, guys. She said that the brother told her that she had a 3-month grace period. What? Sister, there is no such thing as a grace period in Islam. Once you declare La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you go and take a bath, and right after that, whatever prayer is in, you pray. You have to start wearing hijab. You have to start practicing Islam immediately, ASAP. There is no grace period. There is no hadith on planet Earth that you can read that speaks about any of those companions taking shahada and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam telling them they got a grace period. There's no such thing. This is another example as to why Allah has sent war to us. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever we deviate away from Allah's laws, expect war, expect chaos. There's no such thing as a grace period. Whoever told you that, he lied. So you need to change your life. You need to get out of that house. He's no longer your husband. He's no longer lawful for you to touch, to be with, to see, none of that. And Allah knows best. I gave you the dalil from the Quran. Okay, here's a question that the sister here has. I'm going to put it here so I can read it, sister, because it's Twitch is kind of hard for me to read. As you guys can see, I got people asking questions on Twitch too, and I can't read them that well. Okay, she says, is it okay to miss prayer while performing a surgery? Okay, this is a good question. I'm getting ready to answer it. Allah is so merciful. And to show how merciful Allah is, and to show how Allah knows his creation better than we know ourselves, Allah allows us to combine prayers. We can combine prayers under certain circumstances. For example, your doctor, if you are a doctor, if I am scheduled to do surgery at Dhuhr time, Allah allows me to pray Dhuhr and Asr together, or I can pray Asr and Dhuhr together. You see that? Let me give an example. When I had my total knee replacement, because all my doctors are Muslim. When I had one of my total knee replacements, my doctor said, well, thanks to you, Sister Laila, I got a reason to combine prayers, because I was scheduled. My surgery was scheduled for 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And this was during the winter time. And I think Asr came in at 3. So he said, well, okay, right before they put me to sleep to do the surgery, he said, well, Miss Nashiba, the good thing is, because of you, I can combine my prayers. Because it was I think a 2-hour surgery or a 3-hour surgery. So, so that's what you do. If you are a Muslim surgeon, you combine your prayers. And you can either combine them before, during the time of the prayer that's in, or you can do them afterwards. So say, for example, you were scheduled at 1 o'clock. Dhuhr comes in at 1, but you thought that you would be done before 2, so you didn't combine. But when you go in to perform the surgery, you notice that the situation is worse. So instead of you getting done at 2 o'clock, you're not done until 6. Well, guess what? Now you can perform Dhuhr and Asr together. You see the beauty of Allah? You see the justice of Allah? Surgeons got it pretty good. Dr. Ali is a physician. Wonder how many times he gets to combine. Okay? So yes, you can combine Dhuhr and Asr, or you can combine Asr and with Dhuhr. You can also combine Maghrib and Isha, or Isha with Maghrib. And Allah knows best. So does that answer the question? So if you're a surgeon, don't worry about it. Just combine it. Whatever day that you're scheduled for surgery, my sister-in-law is a physician too. Whatever day that you're scheduled for surgery, combine. Yeah, just combine. That's what most Muslim doctors do. Yeah, easy. Allah made it so easy for us. And yes, this sister, what about nurses? The same thing, a nurse too. If you are an operating room nurse, my daughter is. My daughter works in an operating room sometimes as a nurse when she wants some big money. They can combine too. You're going to be scheduled for surgery. you know, your surgery might, you know, is coming in between two prayers, you can combine. So that applies to nurses too. Yes, anybody in the healthcare field. Yeah, that's an excuse to combine in the healthcare field. I used to combine. I worked with the GN. Oh yeah. I worked in the Department of Developmental Disabilities. I worked with the GN. Oh God, I don't miss it. I'd have to combine. When I had to do overtime, I would combine a lot because I'd have to be on the floor. That's why my knees got tore up. We have to take a client down, put them in a hold when they possessed. Girl, I'd be on that floor rocking and rolling with them shaitans. I say, oh my God, I got to combine my grib and Isha. I've been sitting on this floor with them since my grib. Now I got to do my grib and Isha. That's why my knees are messed up. That's why I had to have surgery. Yeah. Yeah. Medical field. Yeah. Health field. Yeah. Different reasons to combine. Yeah. Allah is merciful. Exactly. The sister here is asking, you can combine during the bad weather too. Yes, you can. Also sickness. When I got out the hospital from having my total knee replacement surgery, I combined because I couldn't walk. So I would combine. I did Dhuhr and Asr together. And I did my Grib and Isha together. And there's no time limit on that. I think with the first surgery I had on my knee, the first knee, I combined for about 3 months because that surgery went bad, guys. That was the worst surgery of my life. That first total knee replacement, I combined all my prayers for 3 months. Yeah, there's no time limit. That's the mercy of Allah. You're welcome. The sister here said, thank you, Sister Laila. You make it so easy. She said, thank you, Sister Laila. You make it so easy to be Muslim. People make it seem hard. Alhamdulillah, that made my night because that's what it's all about. You know, that's what it's all about, calling the people back to Islam and its truthfulness with the understanding of those companions, not the understanding of the methods. That's where the problem comes in. Nowadays, when you ask a person a question about Islam, instead of them answering with the understanding of those companions, they're giving you the 4 Imams method. And sometimes they don't get it right. You know, so this happens. One of the moderators, take care of that hand thing. It's messing up the screen. Take care of that, moderator. Yeah. You got a question? Just use the mic, sweetie. Go ahead. They got a question in there? Femi?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, Miss Jackson, let me put yours here so I can see it too. She said, so you can combine. Yes. Oh, yes, Miss Jackson. Oh, yes, Miss Jackson. Say, for example, you're sick with the flu. Thank God I haven't had the flu. That's because I ain't working. I used to get the flu twice a year because my clients were always sick. You know, I worked with the jinn. They stayed sick, you know. I haven't had a cold since I've retired in 2 years, 3 years. But yes, you can combine. Say, for example, you're sick with the flu, you're sick with the cold, just combine. Pray Dhuhr with Asr and Maghrib with Isha. The only prayer you cannot combine is Fajr. Fajr does not combine with anything. Okay? You can also combine if you're too tired. Did y'all know that? My mother, let me use my mother as an example. May Allah bless her and forgive her of her sins. Ameen. My mother is 86 years old. She's an old lady. Sometimes my mother will tell me, she'll say, I'm so tired. She called, she said, I'm trying to stay awake. I said, what are you trying to stay awake for, Mom? She said, I'm trying to stay awake so I can pray Isha. Isha doesn't come in till 10. And I can't. I said, Mom, combine. You can combine. I said, you should pray Maghrib and Isha together. You're elderly. Staying awake is hard for you. Or even a person like me or like you, Miss Jackson. Say, for example, you're just so tired. You don't know if you can stay awake to pray. Then you can combine. Pray Maghrib and Isha together. Because the sun, sets late this time of year. And if you're a person that has a hard time staying awake and you end up missing the Isha prayer, combine. You can combine. Yeah, there's, combining the prayers for different reasons. This is the beauty of Islam. Allah doesn't impose the obligations upon us to harm us, He wants it to be easy for us. Now, a lot of people don't talk about the combining of the prayers. You can combine when you're sick, if you're too tired, you're at work. Say that you get like a surgeon, or say, for example, like I told you, I was dealing with them shaitan. I'd combine. I said, let me take a break here and make my prayers. In fact, let me do Isha too. Because if we're going to have to deal with this jinn, I'd combine all the time. Yes. Yeah. Any other questions? I know. That's how my mother is the same way, Miss Jackson. My mother is the same way. She cannot stay up for Isha. And I have to tell her, I say, Mom, just combine. Do Maghrib and Isha together. Yeah, my mother is the same way. Yeah, don't make it hard. When we make the religion hard, it makes us not want to do it. If we don't learn the shortcuts that Allah has given us, it makes us not want to fulfill our obligations. Yes. Miss Jackson said that she's more amazed each day at Allah's mercy. Alhamdulillah. You just have to learn the religion correctly. Learn from the proper people. Not everybody that's teaching Islam is basing it on those hadiths. Like I said, the 4 Imams, may Allah bless them. They were the best too of this nation. The 4 Imams, they fought hard. For those of you who don't know, read about the 4 Imams. They spent their lives trying to call the people back to the understanding of the companions. But it wasn't them who made the mathabs. It was their students. They little did they know that after they died, their students would end up taking their views over the companions. But that wasn't the 4 Imams. The 4 Imams, they spent their entire lives trying to call to the understanding of the companions. It was their students that did this. Yeah. The dalil for the combining of the prayers, Brother Sahi, you can find the dalil for the combining of the prayers in the book of prayer, Sahih Muslim. I tell all my students, I do a whole series on that. If you go to Sahih Muslim and just start with the book, he has a whole chapter on the book of prayer. And then you'll go down to combining the prayers. You will also find it in Sahih Bukhari too, combining the prayers. And by the way, I have a whole series on it. Can anybody, can y'all put the link to my playlist? Sister Fame, can you copy the playlist I have on the prayer? I taught the whole Book of Prayer from Sahih Muslim. That's on my my YouTube channel. Go to my playlist, the whole class. And by the way, I'm gonna teach it again. By the way, write this down. Mina, is Mina here? Mina,
I'm here.
remember that I told you yesterday that I was gonna do another that class that's almost ending, and
signs of the last hour.
Yeah, no, yeah. Remember I said something to replace it with? Write down the Book of Prayer.
Okay.
Because I got a lot of new shahadas now. They need to learn how to pray again. So I can go over that series. And that series is fairly new, ain't it? So I should have a PowerPoint for that, right? I think I did that series about 2 years ago, right? So I should have the PowerPoint. Yeah, so write that down for me. When we finish the signs of the last hour, I replace it with how to pray. Pray like the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm going to teach that class again, guys, inshallah, in the next month. And we'll be using the Book of Prayer of Sahih Muslim again, inshallah. Yeah. Yes, yes, sister. You can, yeah, just combine. Okay, look at this, guys. Copy that link. That's the link to the playlist I did on Sahih Muslim's Book of Prayer. And I'm going to teach that class over again. And inshallah, because I got a lot of new people here need to learn how to pray and the combinations and stuff. And also, Dr. Ibrahim Jermali, give them the link to him too. We have the videos of Dr. Jermali showing you how to combine. He's showing you how to combine prayers. Give that playlist to them too, so they can look and see how it's done from Dr. Jermali. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, a lot of people just think that combining is only when it's raining. No, we combine when we're sick. We combine when it's raining. We combine if there's anything that's out of the extraordinary. You know, anything that's out of the extraordinary. You just can't do it when you want to. There has to be something out of the extraordinary. Like I'm sick. I'm too tired. I'm weak. You know, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, the brother here, he said, Sister Laila, I've heard so much about you from, oh, really? I'm not going to mention that brother's name. He's in the Emirates. Oh, yeah. He talks nice about me. He's been coming into my streams lately. He said, I heard so much about you from so-and-so. He said, and he told me to join your stream because your English is good and you can help understand. He said, I am glad I joined your stream because I understand. Oh, mashallah, may Allah bless you and give my salams to the brother in the Emirates. No, I'm not going to say his name. No. You know, I'm going to tell y'all, you know, it's too much craziness going on. The brothers are asking why I won't say his name. But no. One of the things about the dawah, the duat, is what they call them, duat. Oh, yeah. The duat of today. They do all this arguing and fighting and bashing each other. You know, this is one of the signs of the last hour. You know, you hating each other. These brothers call themselves giving dawah and they bash each other, slander each other, kafir call. I'm not getting involved in that crap. I'm an old woman. I'm 63 years old, guys. I'm not new to the game. I've been doing the game a long time. I'm old. I ain't got no husband. I ain't got nobody protect me from all that bashing. So I don't mention none of those famous personalities' names. I'll talk about Kareem Abu Zaid, may Allah bless him. That's my dude, okay? Sheikh Mohammed Saeed Atli, my dude. Jermali. But them other brothers from the UK and The one you talking about in the Emirates, I ain't got, I ain't mentioning them people's names. Oh no, I ain't getting caught up in that bashing and killing and hating. And I'm a woman. It would hurt me. I can't do dawah that way. Nope. That's why I got my stream like it is too, where they can't see you. Only me. Smart. He said, you're smart, Sister Laila. Man, I started back in the 80s. I used to be an IRC op. I'm from FNet. That's how old school I am. Oh, I know how to be discreet. Yeah. Okay. All right. He says, let me see this. Let me share this one. I'll share this one. My brother aspires to be a film director. Would it be lawful for him if the films he makes contains no musical instruments? Exactly. He can do that. What do y'all see my films, haven't you? Haven't y'all seen the videos that we put out? Geechee, you know, all my jingles that I make. Y'all know Geechee makes does the songs. There's no musical instruments used. It's her and her son. Where's my picture of Geechee? Here it is. Look. All of my jingles are done by Geechee. Geechee and her son. Okay? No music. That's all her and her son's voice. Okay? And then I do all the other stuff. The video itself is me. Yeah, you can be make movies as long as the movies are not about something that's haram and doesn't include anything haram. You understand? Long as he ain't making movies with sex, drugs, rock and roll. You know what I'm talking about? You know. Yeah. If he wants to make movies about situations that can be a benefit to Muslims, yes. As long as he ain't crossing the lines with sex. You know, the common sense stuff. Yeah, he can do movies. Most things in life, guys, are lawful. I'm telling you, if we were to sit down and make a list of all the haram things, we wouldn't even have 5 pages. When it comes to our everyday life, most things are lawful for us. Yeah, you can do that. You can write books too. I heard somebody, one of these brothers, one of these famous speakers, not the one in the Emirates, but one of these other famous speakers was asked, can a person write a book, a novel? And he told him no, because Allah doesn't like lying and deceit. Who told you that? This is why it's important to learn the history of Islam. Do you know that even Aisha, radiallahu anha, was a poet? That's all the Arabs did. They wrote poems about stuff. Atika, may Allah be pleased with her. She was one of the best poetess of her time. Kanza, another poetess. They made the stuff up. They made it up. Who sat here and told you that you can't write a book? I'm a writer. I'm a novelist. I write about vampires. Oh, yeah. I write about werewolves. Oh, yeah. My book coming out, inshallah. Inshallah in December. It's almost done. I'm a vampire, werewolf writer. You're going to tell me I'm going to hell? Who said that? We have to be careful who we get our knowledge from, guys. If something is haram, you have to bring the clear evidence. If you don't have the clear evidence that says thou shalt not write a book unless it's something that happened for real, then you better bring it. Because Aisha was one of the best poetess of her time, and everybody knows about Kanza and Atika and many companions. Most of the Arabs were poets. Even our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam enjoyed poetry. So how dare you tell me I can't write? As long as I'm not writing about something that I shouldn't write about. Everything we do as Muslims, we have to do it with dignity. with balance. Stay within the guidelines of Islam. Okay. But yes, your brother can be a film director. Yeah. And Allah knows best. Okay. Any other questions? Any in the Zoom room, family? Did I make up for the time that we lost from the hacker?
Yeah, all good now.
Okay. Yeah, tell that brother in the Emirates, you know who I'm talking about. Ask him what is he doing for his hacking? Tell him I notice he's getting nuked a lot. I bet you it's the same dude. Ask him, is the IP that keeps popping up Birmingham, United Kingdom? He does get hacked. Yeah. Yeah, they're these idiots. I think they're what you call it, guys? Asharis. We have the Shiites and the Asharis. The Asharis and the Shiites are attacking us, our streams. I noticed that. I believe this dude is Ashari. He's from Somalia. He's Somalian, but I think he's Ashari. Yeah, tell him to do his IP tracker, and I bet you it's Birmingham, United Kingdom. If it comes up Birmingham, United Kingdom, that's him. He does me too. He took me down earlier. Yeah. All right, guys. Alhamdulillah. This was a good question and answer session. We had a lot of brothers here. May Allah bless all you brothers for coming and being gentlemen. I appreciate that, for being respectable. I appreciate that. Respecting the old lady here. I'm an old woman. I ain't no young girl. I'm old. I got grandkids. In fact, hold on. Wait a minute, y'all. My grandkid been texting me. Hold on, let me make sure ain't nobody got popped. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Just right quick. I forgot my grandbaby was texting me. Wait a minute. I'll feel bad. LMN. Here. Yeah, hold on. Walaikum salam. Did you call me?
Yeah.
What's wrong? What?
I forgot.
Oh, nothing happened? Y'all at home? You guys are at home?
Yeah.
Your bike is locked up and everything?
Oh no, yeah, it's about my bike. Yeah, my bike it's like it's malfunctioning, and this is my second time riding it. I haven't been home. I got home today and I went to ride my bike and it was like malfunctioning.
What's malfunctioning?
Like something like Uncle Ahmed said like the tire was wiggly or something. I don't know. So should I just take it back up there, see if they can fix it?
What did Uncle Ahmed say? Can Uncle Ahmed fix it? He's the fix-it man.
I know, but he said take it up there, see if they want to fix it.
Why don't you call them first before you go up there? Call.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna have
yeah. That's it, because you just got the bike. So what
I'm saying.
Yeah, just tomorrow, call them and tell them that something's wobbly about the tire, and ask them what to do, and they'll fix it. I don't want you going up there without calling them.
Okay.
Okay, then let me know what they say tomorrow. Call me and let me know.
All right.
All right. I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, where's your mother?
I don't know.
She's still at work. What about Jayla? She at work?
No, she's downstairs.
Okay. What about Jayana?
They're both down.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I just realized my grandson was calling me. I didn't, want him out. I bought him a new bike. I didn't want him out where he shouldn't be at 12 o'clock at night. Okay. Here's another question. Sister, where are you from? I'm from America. I'm Arabic, but I was born in America. That's what he meant. When he said I speak good English, the brother that made the comment is Arabic. And, this is the thing, guys. Most Muslims in the world speak English and not Arabic. And sometimes it's hard to break down the meaning of Arabic words in English. I am Arabic, I'm Egyptian, but I was born in America. I was born and raised in America. I was deliberately, intentionally taught no Arabic at all because I grew up in the 60s, the civil rights movement here, the days of Malcolm X. And when Malcolm X was assassinated, the whole goal of the Darul Islam movement was to try to teach Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of the companions in English. So I did not learn Arabic. My imam, my mosque, my family, no Arabic, but I learned the hadiths, okay? So that's why. And then when I went to college, I got a degree in communications. I have a degree in communications. I'm a communication specialist. That's why I can make movies too. Broadcast journalism, interpersonal communications, the whole thing. Plus phonetics, speech pathology. I majored in that stuff and history. So that's why he told him when he was telling the brother to come here, because evidently, what is he teaching? Yeah, he's teaching well and well better. I know why he sent you here. He's teaching well and well better like me, but I'm teaching from Kareem Abu Zayd's book. He's teaching from Abdullah Wahhab's book. And evidently, he couldn't explain something. So that's probably why he told the brother to come here to learn from me, because I could break it down in better English. That's probably what he meant. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I was born here in America. The boss, born in the USA. Yeah. All right. Any other questions or comments, guys? Okay, before we close out, let me remind everybody, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have a new sister from Egypt. Her name is Ustada Sama Kamis. She's going to be teaching the names of Allah at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me show y'all a clip of that. Let me show that to y'all. Hold on for a second. Let me show y'all this clip of her teaching, of what she's going to be teaching.
His names, we need to know about them, how to apply them, ponder the meanings behind them.
New class alert! Sunnahfollowers presents The Names of Allah. Please join us every Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard with Sister Samar. Streaming on all major platforms. Right here, channel Sunnahfollowers.
Yeah, that's it. So that's tomorrow morning, guys. By the way, that's our first morning class. Yeah, because she's in Egypt. She's not going to be able to, she's in Egypt, and that's where she's teaching from. So you guys, and it's only going to be in the Zoom room. I'm not going to stream it. So if you want to participate, you're going to have to join the Zoom room. You're going to have to go to Sunnahfollowers.net, my website, and join the Zoom room. Y'all know the link. Let me put it on there. Where is it at? Family, the link ain't on here. Oh. Where's the link at to the Zoom? I don't have it on here. Okay, here. Yeah, this is the link to the Zoom room, guys, right here. I'm trying to show it. Or it doesn't show. Wait a minute. Hold on. There it is. Why come it's not showing, family? There it is. www.sunnahfollowers.net and just click where it says Zoom room. That'll bring you in. You don't need a passcode or anything. And that's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also tomorrow, did y'all hear Dr. Dramali? We have Dr. Dramali too. Dr. Dramali is doing his class on understanding Surah Baqarah, the rights of women and the rights of family in Surah Baqarah. Let me show y'all that clip too. Hold on, let me show that.
Be mindful of Allah. He speaks of all things. He speaks of the women and children. Doesn't leave out anything. The rights of women, children, and society.
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers presents a new class taught by Dr. Ibrahim Jamali. The rights of women and children in Islam, defined by Surah and Nisa. Streaming on all major platforms.
That's Dr. Do you see that picture of him? I like him with his Gucci on. What you think? I think that picture look okay. What do y'all think? Now, he had his little Gucci on. His mouth was open, but she said, where did I get that picture from? I think that picture is nice. I like Dr. Jamali with his Gucci on. Yeah. Yeah, that his class will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. He's going to go over the rights that Allah has given women in Surat Baqarah. The ad said Nisa, but it's Surat Baqarah. So that's going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. inshallah. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this Q&A. And again, I apologize for the going down earlier because of that little nuker I had. But inshallah, we're going to get him. We're going to get that dude. We really are. And inshallah, make sure everybody is here tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalam wa